Hey, my friends, it's Michele Lamoureux. Welcome back to the podcast. So happy you're joining me today. I wanted to talk to you about your use and mine and those we love of social media and devices. And this is a solo cast and it's observational only based on my experience of doing a 6-month digital detox, which really included just me removing Instagram from my phone. I'm not on Facebook. I never have been, never used it. I'm not on TikTok. I'm sure there's other platforms. I do use LinkedIn. I find it a professional environment and not addictive at all. And I would say that my experience with Instagram was feeling like I was addicted to it. I found that in quiet moments, in busy moments, in moments where I could have allowed myself to be bored, when I had a moment to think or to do something for myself, I found that the phone would suddenly be in my hand and on and turned on to the app. And more significantly, I found that if I turned it on and was scrolling before I slept, or too much time had passed, I felt so much worse after being on Instagram than I felt before I had opened it. And I just wanted to see how it would feel to go beyond my annual digital detox of usually 2 weeks, which I do in the summertime. And it actually started because when my daughter was 12, this was 5 years ago, she asked me, we were traveling to visit family on the East Coast, and she said, "Can you get off your phone? Can you get off that app?" And I was like, "Yes, I can." And I found that it was actually harder than I realized. But I wanted to set a good example. This is well before she ever had access to social media. It's how they stay connected. It's how they socialize and connect. I'm sure there's other platforms, but it's one of many where, our kids are fully immersed in. And the more I see the immersion and people being addicted, the more I wanted to be out. Yeah, I didn't like the way it felt. So this is not some soapbox where I'm telling you to quit social media. I literally just want to share my observations from having taken the 6-month digital detox. Now, in full disclosure, I did have to pop on and I would only do it on my computer, not my phone. I didn't allow the app to be on my phone. When researching particular guests, if there was any information I needed to find, sometimes people share something meaningful and I like to do a deep dive on my guests before I interview them. So I did go on a few times for that reason. Um, I had mixed emotions because as somebody who produces a podcast, I should be promoting the episodes on Instagram. So what I did was I ended up promoting on LinkedIn instead, but I'm still on the fence. My feeling is that I would like to hire someone to do the social media for me because truthfully, I felt so much freer. My mind felt more grounded and calm. I felt more creative and I definitely had way more free time when the app wasn't on my phone. So it wasn't intentional that I was going to do 6 months. And again, the reason I've chosen to go back on is with mixed emotions because I have these amazing guests coming on, and many of them are use Instagram to promote their stuff. And it seems like a disservice to them to not be sharing clips from the episodes. But like I said, I was doing it on LinkedIn and plan on continuing to post on Instagram for now and figure out a way to be using the app so that the app doesn't use me. So if you've not tracked your phone usage, if you've got an iPhone, I'm assuming it's the same on the other, like a Samsung phone, or you can track how much time you are spending on your devices. And if you've yet to actually look at your usage, it's really eye-opening when you do that. There was like a few days that I think it was like 6 hours. Now, I do consume a lot of podcasts. It did include podcasts. It wasn't all scrolling. But even that, when there are other things that are more important to me, felt like I was wasting my time, that I was wasting my time and not using my time intentionally. And because we're heading into a new year, it's always a good time to reflect on what you have accomplished, what you desire to accomplish, what's meaningful to you, where you want to be spending your time. Yeah. So I'd say first thing is see how much time you're spending and decide how much time do you want to be on your device. Is it 15 minutes? Is it half an hour? Is it an hour? If you listen to books through like the Libby app with your library, I think there's beneficial things that we're gaining from using our phones. This is not to say it's all bad. Obviously, podcasts, I always have one going when I'm in the car. I would say, for educational purposes, it's great. But with the social media apps, there is a price that we're paying, whether or not we realize it, for free access to all of this connection. And I'm putting connection in air quotes and information and entertainment. And if you've ever had your phone out and talked to a friend about some topic, some product, more likely than not, you will start seeing ads for those items pop up in your social media. And that actually was the breaking point for me. I had had a conversation with a friend of mine. We had gone to a reunion in Los Angeles for our high school. It's like an alumni event. And we were sitting afterwards having lunch, and I was talking to her about her makeup. She used some lovely makeup that's all natural and a couple other products. And sure enough, from that moment on, when I was scrolling in my phone, I was seeing those products pop up every time I was in there. And again, that's how they make money. I get it. Track your usage, decide how much time you want to spend on there. And if you've never done a digital detox, I would encourage you to go one day where you don't use your phone for anything other than like GPS texting and as a phone, just like old school, like no other features, and see how it feels and whether you're compelled to pick it up. Because I know for me, I was compelled to pick it up. First thing in the morning, I'd say, oh, I'm going to read tonight. And next thing I knew, I had scrolled for an hour instead of reading. I didn't think I would. I thought I could put it down. I also think about our teenage kids, our college age kids, our younger children, older people who are just losing time. And this is the reality that they know. And to the degree that we can break a habit, if to the degree it's a bad habit that we have of using our phones more than that then feels good, by all means, if it feels good to you and it gives you a lift and energizes you, I'm not here to tell you not to do that. But if you were like me and it was draining your energy or you felt badly after, like you had wasted all this time, then give it a try. Go a day. And if you are successful in going a day, go 2 days and maybe consider going a week and just see how it feels. What was interesting was that it took a couple weeks to sort of break the habit. And then I didn't want to go on. And then when I was going on, it felt like I never left in the sense that a lot of the posts were sort of familiar, like you kind of know what information you're going to be getting from the different people that you follow, and it doesn't vary or change so significantly. And this is not a knock on anyone. I've found some of my favorite podcast guests from social media, from learning about them, from their platforms, from their generous hearts, giving free information. I think all of that is amazing. I really, really do. But if you are just the consumer and always taking in the information, the cost that it may be, what it may be costing you is your dreams and your goals and your ambitions and your clarity and your peace of mind and your quiet, your peace, your own thoughts. And if you're deeply curious like me, then you might find, you learn something, and next thing you know, you're looking it up on the computer, and, you can go down these rabbit holes. And the question is, how many rabbit holes do you want to go down a day? How many cute dog videos do you want to see? Love the dog videos. I do, but I also have a cute dog. So do I need to be looking at these other cute dogs when I have a cute dog? So anyway, I did reinstall the app recently. I've been back on for probably 3 weeks. And I have found that I've been wanting to get back on the device and that I've been wanting to scroll. And so it's kind of pulling me back in again, which is why um, I need to think about how I want to use it and getting some help to promote the podcast so I can feel really good about that. There's amazing content. I'm very proud of the show. I love the guests that I have. I want to make sure people have the opportunity to see it and share it, and recognize the guests. And I was sitting with my husband overlooking the ocean the other day. He had to look something up on his phone, and I opened the Instagram app and I was like, And I stopped myself in that moment because I was with my husband. I'd been away a week. I have a beautiful dog there. I'm with this man that I love. I'm overlooking the ocean. And the last thing I want to do is scroll and take in random pieces of data and information that I didn't ask for. And who knows what's going to be there when I scroll. And like I said, for me, it was so freeing. And I would like to get another expert on to talk about this. My gut says it's, again, I don't have data on this, but I would like to get data on this. I can't imagine it's good for our brains to be taking all this disparate information in such short periods of time, but also for a long period of time, right? So like a 3 second, 5 second, a minute long reel, taking in however many you could see in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour or more over the course of a day. It just, we're too distracted. And I think what matters is usually probably right in the room with us. That could be our pets, the people we love, and our purpose, which is waiting to be fulfilled. And the intention of this show is to invite women off the sidelines into her starring role. And if we are spending so much time being the consumer instead of the creator, the creatrix of our own lives and what we want, then, we may be losing out. And so this is sort of, I used to do the Monday musings. This is very much in that mindset of a musing. These are the thoughts that I have about social media and my experience with it and getting off. And I hope it's helpful to you. I think with AI and the advent of there'll be more innovative kind of like clips that we'll be seeing. The pull towards the tech is going to just become stronger and more enticing. So I think the healthier the boundaries that we can set now, the better off we will be. And if you've not nourished your body, moved your body, done something, called someone you care about, texted someone you cared about, read a book, did something meaningful that fills your soul. So, yeah, use your tech to listen to books, listen to podcasts, feel more connected, talk to people you care about, things that enrich your life. And if you feel like you could use a break, see what happens. Really, truly see what happens and let me know what happens. If you're not on my newsletter list, please sign up. There's an invitation on the show notes page, and make sure you're subscribed to the show. I know I've been talking about the name coming. I'm working on the new website this month, and I'll have more to share about that when it's time. But if you're subscribed and following the podcast, then we will stay together. And if you're on the newsletter, you'll be the first to know everything that's happening. So, food for thought. Take what you like about what I talked about and leave the rest behind. This is not a judgment. This is not like anything other than an observation of my experience, ditching my phone for 6 months and really not wanting to, well, ditching social media for 6 months and really not wanting to re-engage in the same way. So I hope this was interesting, helpful. Let me know. And I will be back with you guys next week. A lot of great content coming your way that I can't wait to share with you. So please know how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you who've taken the time to write a review and to share the show, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, on that note, bye for now.